Right here at the Goethe Institute, we are here with a very, very wonderful. She does almost everything, I must say, everything when it comes to writing, when it comes to photography, when it comes to filmmaking, and I mean everything. When it comes to everything that has to do with cinematics and art, she's the right person to go to. And I am with, and I must say, I am honored to be with Anna Winger. Anna Winger, tell me. How has it been in Ghana so far?
We've had such an amazing time in Ghana. We've seen so much. It's such a beautiful country. In so many different ways, I wouldn't even know where to start. The history, all of the modern life, the architecture, we've seen incredible. We've had delicious food. We've seen the colors, the new fashion, traditional fashion, the photography. We were at the Deccan Center, the gallery. We've just seen so many amazing things and met so many great people. So it's been terrific.
So is this your first time in Africa?
No. No, I lived in Kenya growing up, and I have worked in South Africa, and I've traveled in Africa, but I've never been to Ghana.
So then Ghana should be your first West African country. Wonderful. Yes, Ghana has won. Ghana has won. Yes, so Anna, tell me, how has the journey been? I mean, right from the beginning until now. I realized that there was this transition from photography and it moved on. So could you briefly tell us, how did it all happen for you?
Yeah, so I was trained as a photographer, and I worked as a photographer for many years. And then when I had small children, I wrote a novel, and I really enjoyed the writing, but I found the process very isolating, and I missed the community and collaboration involved in making photography and being in the world. And so then I started screenwriting, because in a way, the kind of storytelling that I do, especially episodic storytelling for television, is like bringing together photography and writing a novel in chapters in a way. So it's been, and what I love about it is when you write a screenplay, it's the beginning of an adventure, and that adventure is one you take with many people, and I just love that part of it. So
let's say that now with screenwriting, there's a lot of things that evidently go into piecing everything together to bring out a wonderful work. What is that one thing that you would say is needed, no matter what?
I think it's very important to have a real passion for the story that you want to tell, and for the research and the work that's involved in making and telling that story and getting it right, because it takes a long time to make a film or a TV show, and it's really, I think the passion for that material really needs to drive the project. And the second thing would be that you need to surround yourself by people who help you correct your ideas, help you make it better, and collaborators who have the same passion for the material. So I think, if you have the privilege of working with other people to tell a story that everybody feels so excited to tell, then that's the dream.
That's the dream. So it's quite evident that in a movie, it's not just something that people are watching, but it's you as the maker, or you as the people that piece it together, are able to take the people out of where they are, like wherever they're watching the movie from, and bring them into that world to experience it as it is. So now, what are the elements that come together? And if for anything at all, does music play a role in this?
For me, music is very important.
How so?
The first TV show that I made took place in the 80s, and it was a way of really locating the story in time. And it was also really fun music that we used, like popular songs from the 80s, and it was a way of really pulling people into the story, a story that involved a lot of history that young people especially probably didn't know. But then through the process of discovering the music, they also could learn about the history and about the story. I think rhythm is very important to the storytelling on film. Because you're cutting to music sometimes, you're also bringing, the music sets the pace. It sets the feeling of sort of propulsive forward movement, can be very helpful with the music. And just but I do think that depending on the story that you're telling, music, it really helps to make the time and space of that story feel three-dimensional.
So finally, I would like to ask that when we take, I mean, you've been to many countries, and in those countries you've learned a little bit of everything, and with these things that you put into making the movie and all of that, that's what enhances or makes it rich and gets people to relate no matter where it's shot from. So does it happen that while you are shooting these movies with music, as you said, speaking of popularity, it has to be the music has to be something that is from there, or it can be something that is from another country. Let's say you've made movies that have people from France, or the French people, and also people from Africa coming together. In that scene, I mean, we're looking at something that people could easily relate to. So if there's going to be music, are you going to pick music that's from the French or from Europe, or you're going to pick music that's from Africa?
Well, I think it really depends on what the point you're trying to make. An idea that just a memory of a scene that comes to mind is a scene that's about Africans who were involved in the French resistance during World War II. And actually that scene, we use Beethoven because the music of Beethoven was used to send signals over the radio because everybody knew the music, and that dun 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 dun, right? Beethoven's Fifth. People used it because when you heard it on the radio, you knew that the next thing they said was a code. So actually, I don't know if I would go one-to-one with music to the character. I think it's a question of what is the point you're trying to make. That said, I love African music, and I would love to incorporate African music into the right project. It's just that I don't think that just in when you're telling a story, you have to find the right music for that story, and it's not always the thing you think it would be. Sometimes you surprise people by choosing something that is different, because we all listen to lots of music, right? We all listen to music from all over the world. Yeah.
Anna, it's been wonderful. But I cannot leave until we do this. YTV must give you an official welcome to Ghana. I mean, you've already been in Ghana for how long? 1 week?
8 days.
8 days,
Yes.
right? So we're going to do this. But first of all, have you heard any of the languages in Ghana yet?
I've heard a little bit of Tree.
Tree. All right. So we're going to stick with Tree. So I'm going to say Akwaba. That's Akwaba. That's welcome. And then you say Medase.
Medase.
That's thank you.
Medase.
All right. So Anna Akwaba.
Medase.
Wonderful. That's a 10 over 10. So Anna Winger, thank you so much. Thank you. And we're glad that you've enjoyed being in Ghana. We hope that as you have been able to learn so much from other countries, Ghana becomes that country that you also learn something from, and possibly, who knows, do something great out of it. Yeah. So thank you so much.
YTV. Yearn for more.